welcome to City Skylines, the Dev Diaries. These diaries are based on the official Dev Diaries that can be found at the Paradox Interactive forums, and I'll include a link to them in the video description. In this episode, we'll be looking at natural resources. There are currently 4 natural resources: oil, ore, forests, and fertile land. These resources are divided into 2 categories: renewable, forests and fertile land, and non-renewable, oil and ore. Now, as long as you don't pollute the land or bulldoze forests, renewable resources will last forever. But oil and ore deposits will eventually run out, which has caused many people to ask the question, how long will they last? Now, the developers have been a little cagey on this subject, not yet providing any specific numbers. But Henke, one of Colossal Order's developers, did post on the Paradox forums saying, the resource deposits are quite large and it is possible to use them for a long time. I, for one, hope that a long time means more like 50 years than just 5 or 10. Henke also pointed out that the resources can be placed when you create your own maps. But we'll talk more about that in episode 6 when we take a look at the map editor. The developers wanted natural resources, and specifically their locations on maps, to play a strategic role in a city's development. When you begin a new city, you start out owning a single map tile. And as your city grows, you can purchase additional map tiles to expand into. And the developers wanted the natural resources to act as a reward for good strategic expansion, while rivers and lakes act as kind of a challenge to be overcome. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. The info view shows where the different resources are located on the map. The dark grey area to the east indicates ore, while the greyish blue area to the north is an oil field. This starting tile has a lot of yellow fertile land, for those who fancy agriculture, and the green areas are obviously ripe for forestry. Exploiting your city's resources is done by creating specialised industries. Creating a district that contains an industrial zone will give you access to the 4 specialisation policies. Selecting one of these will automatically cause the game to replace ordinary factories with specialist buildings. And it appears that there are 2 types of buildings within each specialisation. Buildings that extract the resource, like tree farms, wheat fields, or ore extractors, and buildings that process the resources, like sawmills and oil refineries. If you create a specialised district in an area where there's no suitable resource deposit, you'll still get industry of the chosen type, but these factories will only be processing plants, and they'll automatically import the raw resources from elsewhere, either from another part of the city or from the outside world. Forestry and agriculture will produce slightly higher profits than regular industry, but with lower levels of pollution. Oil and ore, on the other hand, will provide a big boost to your economy, but wreak havoc on the local environment, and not just with ground pollution, but also noise pollution. Note that oil and ore also require significantly more electricity in order to function, while agriculture will put a larger drain on your water supply. Oil and ore can be used to run oil power plants and coal power plants respectively. Each power plant has a reserve of fuel when they're built, but once the reserve runs out, they require additional fuel either from local specialised industry or imports from the outside world. And for maximum tax income, the ideal situation is to have local industry, i.e. the oil industry, selling their products to another local entity, i.e. the oil power plant. And a good transport network of roads, railways, etc. will be very important in creating efficient industries. Okay, a word about the farms. And judging from comments on the forums, I'm not the only person who would like to see much bigger farms. The current limit of 4x4 blocks on zone buildings makes the farms look more like gardens than crop fields or orchards. And when pressed on this issue, Henker responded, about the farm sizes, the spawning system of zonable buildings, this includes farmlands, is designed to work best with lots the size of 4x4 and smaller. This is partly due to the free-form nature of the world and the way the game tries to fill the zonable areas most efficiently. Therefore, having larger spawnable buildings could lead to them spawning rarely due to their size, as the game would try to find suitable locations for them to spawn and at the same time try to make the areas so that there would be as few leftover cells between the different buildings as possible. However, we are talking about the possibility to remove the fences between the different farm plots to make it more visually appealing. Meanwhile, another developer commented, I promise we'll look into the farms as they are now limited in size like all other zoned buildings. Now, while that doesn't seem tremendously encouraging, I guess we should hold judgment for now and see how things develop. I'm hoping that if nothing else, the modding community will come up with a solution to make agriculture a little more visually appealing. Ploppable farms, maybe. Personally, I hope that the whole area of natural resources gets expanded. Whether it's DLCs, expansions or mods, I don't mind. There's huge potential here and it really should be exploited to the full. Well, that's it for natural resources. Once again, I'd like to thank Henker for putting together the original dev diary, and if you enjoyed this vid, hit the like button or better still, leave me a comment. I'll see you for episode 4 where we'll be looking at public transport. Should be fun.